Hello and welcome. You got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers hat. Little Bucko Bruce, little creamsicle in honor of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers' next game against the Detroit Lions. Going to be bringing back the creamsicles, and I cannot wait. But that is not what this video is about. Going to do something a little bit different, something I've never done before. I'm going to read a comment that I got on one of my articles. I'm a writer for BucksNation.com. And I never read a comment before, but I also don't know that I've ever read a comment that was so just fantastic. So I wanted to read it and I wanted to address it and give a shout out. So let's read it. It's from a user called NC Buckfan. I don't know if that stands for North Carolina Buckfan. I'm not sure. But NC Buckfan said, in response to talking about the Saints game last week, tough, gutty win. We don't see these guys out-physical the Saints like they did that often, so it was an especially sweet victory. Yes, 1,000% NC Bucks fan. I couldn't agree more. The fact that the Buccaneers won the game is fantastic. Feels great. The fact that they won it in the fashion that they won it is almost unbelievable. It's hard to even grasp it as a long-tenured Bucks fan. We were clearly the better team, and we're sitting atop the division now. Yes, first place. Fantastic. Love it. First place at the bye. The Winston interception for his only play was the ultimate irony. Imagine the feast our secondary would have had if Winston started over Carr. I'm glad Carr was the quarterback. He is the better quarterback, which makes the victory even better. Again, hitting the nail on the head. Jameis Winston coming in at the end of the game to throw one pass and have his one singular pass be an interception is, I referred to it as the cherry on top of a perfectly scooped ice cream sundae, and that's truly what it was. It felt too fitting to even happen, So yes, 100%. And I also, on this channel, I said it going into the game and then after the game, I'm so glad Derek Carr played. I do not want to watch Jameis Winston get, that was just not, it was their new quarterback, the Saints' new franchise quarterback against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers' new quarterback, and it allowed the rivalry to turn the page. Jameis Winston needs no more chapters in this rivalry. The rivalry has seen enough of Jameis Winston on both sides. It need happen no longer. So I couldn't agree more. Victory feels better because it was Carr. If it was Jameis, everybody would have just said, well, it's Jameis' fault. Jameis threw a bunch of picks. Jameis took a bunch of sacks. It's Jameis. And it would have had the built-in excuse of the fact that it wasn't Carr. It being Carr means so much more. 2 for 2 on your points, NC Buck fan. Next he goes, Mayfield is proving his many critics wrong each week. This team is following suit. Sometimes a chip on the shoulder can be highly motivating. Now we rest, heal, and plan for our next tough matchup. Again, couldn't agree more. Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as a team, just critics, the expectations, couldn't agree more. But he's also going to go into that right here. Injury bug notwithstanding, I think the team is only going to get better. It's getting real interesting now, especially since we aren't 0-4 like some early predictions I saw. And I couldn't agree more again, NC Buck fan. The Buccaneers sitting at 3-1, nobody had that at all. And on top of that, there were people who thought the Buccaneers were going to win. There were a majority of people who thought the Buccaneers might be winning 3 games all year. And that Baker Mayfield by now would be potentially on the bench and Kyle Trask would be in the game and the Buccaneers would be closer and closer and closer to Caleb Williams. And instead, Tampa sits at 3-1 atop the NFC South with a full game lead over everyone in the division. So I think expectation versus reality, there is no syncopation there, no matchup at all. And actually, you notice now with the game getting flexed this week to the 4 o'clock time slot against or next week with the 4 o'clock time slot against the Lions, shows you the Buccaneers nationally are starting to gain a little bit of respect, a very small amount of credibility getting added to their name, where the NFL world is starting to look and Like this Baker Mayfield guy, is he like back or good or something? Like what? Yeah. So I just want to give a shout out, NC Buck fan. That's a fantastic comment. I honestly couldn't have written down better points, better bullet points there. So shout out to you. Good job. Nice LOL. The comment above NC Buck fan by Toronto Turnips. He said, "Sing it with me. Oh, when them ain'ts go 0 and 2. Oh, when them ain'ts are pure doo doo. Go chalk it up to Bounty Gate Karma. That's when them ain'ts are 2 and 2." So that's a really funny one, too. I like that they were right next to each other back to back. But I did want to give that shout out. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 3-1 at the bye week. Gotta love it.